birds are singing, skies are blue. The world's awake, it's time for you. Start it right, you know it's true. Anson in the morning.
Good morning. It's Anson in the morning. I'm Anson. I'm here. You're there. Let's do this thing. So last week I missed a show, which I really try not to do, but I had no choice, guys. My internet here has been so shit since we moved in. When we first moved into this house, it was so bad that it would, like, the internet would kick on for 5 minutes and then just shut off for 3 hours. And I'd call the cable company and they're like, nothing's wrong. We got no problem on our end. I'm like, yeah, now you're in the pocket where it works. So we finally went with this new company and they've been great up until about a year ago. And then I'll be playing games and all of a sudden just dumped out of online, or watching a movie and all of a sudden it just got that circle loading for 3 minutes and you go back and then it takes forever to, I don't want to get into it. So I called the company and I was like, give me some Fios, man. You guys got this new Fios running through the neighborhood. Let's give it a shot. So they hook me up, right? Nope. The guys come to cut a line through my yard because they have to cut a line through my yard, right? To run the Fios up to the house and blah, blah, blah. Fine, go for it. Well, the original guy said, we're going to put it here in front of this window. It'll be no problem because I can just come through the wall there. There's a power outlet and we can have everything. We're going to move the TV to the other side of the living room, the whole thing, right? Well, the guys come to actually dig. And what do? They're here for 20 minutes. They didn't do anything. Like, yeah, we hooked it up to the box. See you later. And then the guy comes out to install it. And he's like, I can't do anything with this. This is hooked up to the other company, their box. And if we use this, the FCC will fine us like 10 grand or something. I'm like, well, I told them to put it to the window here. And so I should have had brand new internet. Everything should have been great this week. It is not. And it sucks. I am unhappy. That's okay. We'll get through it. They're going to come. It's just been a week of what the hell. I took my dog to the dog groomer last week because he just had to get his haircut. And the lady pulls her arm on another dog halfway through getting my dog done. I guess she had to stop and go do another dog, and it yanked her arm out of this fucking socket almost. So she couldn't finish the dog. Now I call back. I can't get a hold of her. It's just been one thing after another all week long. My sink broke yesterday. I tried to fix it. I broke it worse. I am not a repairman. So, like, the little, I think they call it a P-trap under the sink, the little U-bend, right? Well, one of the little grommets wasn't quite tight. I don't know how it got loose, but it was dripping under the sink, right? And I'm like, well, shit. Put a towel under there. I'm all looking at it. And I said, okay, well, if I unscrew this thing and try to put it back and the thing's stripped, I'm like, fine. I'm not a handyman, but I see the piece that I need. I'm going to go to Home Depot. Let's go to Home Depot. Let's get the piece. Let's come back. And it's already broke, right? So I can't break it anymore. Let's go try. Well, bullshit. I broke it more. I absolutely broke it more. So while I'm trying to get the U-bend to fit into the joint, the pipe that goes to the sink, like the actual drain, just snaps off and all the water that was in there comes out. I'm doused. I'm unhappy. So I called this guy, Bruce. He's kind of like our handyman for the family. Great guy. Amazing handyman. Like, this guy comes in and he'll do something in no time. And the best part about him is he'll teach you, which is, that's the best part of a handyman, right? Is having a handyman that'll actually explain what he's doing to save you money later. Like, he came in, he's like, I got you, man. It's going to be what, $15 for the parts. It's on the house because you always give me business. I'm like, no. I gave him $100. What are you going to do, right? You got to help the guy out. So, because he came over and he helped me out. So now the sink's ready. I've still got to work on, I got a leak in the garage that I'm working on, which is just a pain in the ass. I got to redo the kitchen. Anyway, the whole house is a mess, kind of, just because I got a lot of work to do and whatnot. All right. So one thing I like to do when I'm working around the house is I turn on TV and I listen to congressional hearings and stuff. I don't know why. It's cool to see the theater of politics. I really enjoy it. Like, I super enjoy it. So I'll put on C-SPAN and I'll be listening to a vote about a New England wildlife newt, and I'll listen to the debates. I don't know. It's fun for me. You know what I didn't hear? And you guys know me. I'm not really that political. I try to be, but I'm not. Is that we're at war. I didn't hear that in Congress. I didn't hear a congressional hearing or see senators vote on whether or not we're going to do something. And now we're at war. Like everybody says, I'll worry about things when they affect me. Okay, my gas is $6.15 a gallon right now in California. I shit you not, that's what I'm paying for regular. You should see what premium is. It's almost $7 a gallon. Why? Why is premium almost $7 a gallon? Oh, because of this stupid fucking war going on. And you know what really bothers me the most about this stuff, this war is that if it go, I've got kids that are 13 and 12. If this thing goes on for a while, like Vietnam or some of these other wars, what happens if we run out of troops? My kid's going to get drafted? Are they going to go to war? Is this what's going on in the world? I don't want World War III. I just don't. I want the status quo. I want America for me to be like what it was when I woke up yesterday morning. I woke up, I had a bunch of shit to do around my house. I got it all done. I played with my kids for a bit. I made dinner. I went to bed. I don't want to have to think about wars and who's going to kill who and the oil prices, all the, oh my God, it's too much now. And do you think TikTok helps or any of the newses or any of this stuff? It's all sensationalism, it feels like. And I'm trying not to do that with this show. Like I know the title, We're at War. And everybody's like, oh shit, let's go see what Spicy's talking about. That's not what this is about. I'm questioning, why are we at war? Like, why have we ever been at war? I don't war with my neighbor next door. Like we don't trade gunfire and what we don't get along well because we're not close. It's not animosity, but we had an issue with the fence one time, right? I didn't say, well, that's my property and this is your property and let's go to war over it. No, you know what I said? I tell you what, let's come up with a solution. How about this with the fence? You pay for half, I pay for half, or meet in the middle. It's all done, right? Easy. Why can't people talk like this when it comes to global stuff? Because really, all it is your neighbor on the other side of the fence. It's just a huge property. I'm talking about your country. But what do you get out of this? Like, honestly, somebody explain to me in chat or wherever, what do people get out of going to war? I don't understand it. Well, we need the oil. Well, they're going to bomb somebody else. Well, there's this, and we need regime change. Can't everybody just fucking mind your own business? You have a country. The country has laws. The laws do what they're supposed to do. And if you don't like it, what gives any country the right to go into another country and say, we don't like your leader, we're going to bomb them? Can you imagine the shitstorm that would come down on the world if they did that to the president of the United States, bombed him and killed him? Can you imagine what would happen? But we do this to the president of Iran, some guy. It's a human being. I don't care what his ideals are. He still eats and breathes and poops just like the rest of us. Why are we killing everybody? Why are we out there? I mean, is there no viable solution? Have we really exhausted every conversational bullet point in NATO and in our ambassador talks and all the foreign relations? Have we really gotten to the point where we have no other choice right now with Iran? We've got to send a couple missiles that way. You know who I miss, guys? Speaking of war, this is crazy, but I miss George W. Bush. Remember George? That guy? What was it? We have to have strategy. Remember some guy threw a shoe at him and he ducked and he came up. He was smiling. He's like, holy shit. Somebody threw another shoe. He ducked it again. You all said that he was the dumbest, stupidest president in the world. And the first thing I said, and I think a bunch of other people said too, is when this guy's gone, George W., we're going to miss him. Fuck, I miss that guy. Now he's friends with you see him at all these meetings or all these presidential show ups, and he's always, everybody loves him. They forget about Iraq. They forget about all this stuff with, what was his vice president's name? Anyway, Dick Cheney, all that shit. I miss George W. He was stupid, but he was funny. Now, I'll tell you why I like Trump. I don't like his policies. I don't like his exuberism. You don't have to gild the White House in gold. You don't have to tear down something to make the biggest ballroom we've ever seen. It's going to be beautiful. We love our ballrooms, don't we, people? But he's entertaining. There's always something fresh coming out of his mouth. Whether you like it or not, you're always going to fucking listen. You're always going to sit there and look at it and be like, oh, and then you're going to go bitch about it to somebody else. And we love it. I think we're going to get a couple of boring presidents next. I think we might get 2 or 3 boring presidents, and then we'll get another bluster. I mean, we had that, right? So you get Reagan, and Reagan's up there. And then you get Bill Clinton. And Bill Clinton wasn't too bad, with the loudness. He was on TV and being cool and playing the sax. Go, baby. I feel your pain. So that was cool, right? He was on Arsenio playing, I'm going to be the next president of the United States of America. And that's cool. We loved Bill. I think Bill, they called him the first black president. I love that. And things were a little quiet, and as you go along, yeah, we got presidents, Republicans, Democrats, but for the most part, things stay pretty cool. And then we get Trump, and Trump's like, whoa. Now I get why people love this guy. I get why people vote for him. I get why people support him. It's amazing. Because he's entertaining. Like you don't know what he's going to say next. And it's kind of like the Howard Stern syndrome, right? If you guys remember, the average Howard Stern lover watched him for 45 minutes a day to see what he's going to say next. But the average Howard Stern hater watched him for 2 hours and 30 minutes a day. Why? I want to hear what he'll say next. And it's kind of the same thing with Trump, isn't it? It's all about what is he going to do next? What's he going to say next? But that's that unhingedness that I don't like. I'm a creature of habit. I like my show to come on at a certain time every weekday. I like the shows that we do at night to come on at a certain time. My, dinner in the house is set time. I have structured schedules to pick everybody up. I really, really don't like uncertainty. That's why I take notes and I write the show down on these fucking legal pads everybody makes fun of me for, or these notebooks, is because I like the structure. I need structure in my life. Structure keeps me out of trouble. I'm 48 years old, almost 49, and structure is what's kept me okay. It's why I got this nice studio and everything, because of my structure, I think. But I can't sit here and have a platform like this and not talk about how I feel. Talk about the good and the bad. Like I said, Trump's a showman. He's loud, he's unpredictable, and it's super entertaining and it's super fun. But I don't think it's good for the country. Would a boring president be better for the country? I don't know. All I know is that when it comes to like the U.S. Senate, like 12% of the population approve of the Senate's job. Now that's on both sides. That's 100% on both sides. You have a crappy president who's not doing things the right way. Why doesn't Senate speak up? And there's a Republican or two that have spoken up and been like, but these guys are afraid to cross him because they don't want to lose votes. So to them, it's about getting elected, not doing the right thing is all it tells me, which is why, as much as I thought about it as a kid and trying to get into the political realm, maybe in my 20s and 30s, it's not for me, man. It's not. It's too much. It's too much lying. It's too much of not delivering on promises. Because I believe you can't. I don't think you can deliver on these promises you make. I don't think any president really can. You can be like, we're going to do this affordable healthcare thing, and then you have to fight in the Senate and fight in Congress. And it takes 3 years to get it. Well, that's good. I like that. That means that there's conversation happening. What I don't like is the stonewalling or Trump saying, we're not going to sign another bill until you pass this thing right now. It's like, why would you do that? Other people in America need to be taken care of, but you're so vain about your bill that you won't sign any other bill. Isn't that like throwing a tantrum? Kind of. I mean, I don't know. But it's funny. Everybody walking around in shoes that are too big for them. Everybody wearing their floor shines. The Trump, it's like the boys' circle. They're all twinning in the White House. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, people. We love the shoes. We love floor shine. They're not made in China. So to see is it Lindsey Graham or Marco Rubio walking around with these big clunkers on, I thought was funny. But again, it's not that I hate Republicans or Democrats. I just think it's funny. That's the best part about this White House is if you guys stop and you take out the bills and the war and all the shit and just look at how funny it is. Dude, Trump is a comic genius. I've said it before. He has pictures on his pictures on the walls of all the presidents before, and he's got little blurbs underneath of them, that I think he wrote or somebody wrote to make him look good. And Biden's picture was an auto pen. Come on. That is comic gold. You don't get better than that. Who thinks of this? He does. It's just, you got to love it for what it is. But I don't want to go to war. I don't want to see my kids at war. I don't want to see what the world is going to turn into because of it. And so you killed the Ayatollah. And what do? They bring up the next Ayatollah. And you're going to kill him. This structure, what you guys don't understand, or maybe they do, but they're not listening, is that the structure in Iran is set up to not fail. There are local sheiks. There are local, I don't forget what you call them. What do you call them? Shaman or whatever, And there's always somebody to choose. They did it for a reason like that. You cannot kill that regime. And you won't. I mean, what's next? Somebody's going to accidentally drop a nuke. I mean, how many planes have we already shot down on accident? Like Iraq shot one down on accident. We had friendly fire situation over Kuwait. It's like, I don't get it. And plus, no war that Iran can start, can they finish? They don't have the infrastructure to do it. They don't have the capabilities, and they really don't have the allies that really want to go to war, if you're honest, because these guys in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait and all, they don't want to go to war. They're making so much money already off the oil. You think they need more? No. What you're going to do is you're going to disrupt the supply lines. You're going to disrupt their business. It's going to be awful. And it already is awful. Like I said, gas is over $6 a gallon in California here. And I don't get it. For what? So that the oil company executives can make more money? Is that what this is about? Like, if you always look at Woodward and Bernstein or all these, follow the money. Always follow the money. So I tried to, and I'm looking at it. And all I can see is when gas prices go up, oil companies make a little bit more money. Right? So I don't know. Is this just a ploy for money? Is this war going to be over in 6 weeks or a year, or is this going to drag out? I'm really scared. I really am. Now they're talking about Iran's got ships that can launch shit into California. Now I live way the fuck out of California's way, like out of the main cities and stuff. I'm so far north that nobody cares about us. Like we're even 600 miles from San Francisco. So nobody cares. But the point of it is that it still might happen, like bombing the US. Do we really need all this stuff, guys? Like, I don't know how to fight this. I don't know any other way to combat what's going on aside from just using this platform here that I have, not given. I set this up, so I'm kind of making my own platform, but I've got one. There's a few people that tune in and listen to what old Anson's got to say in the mornings. So how do we stop these wars? How do we stop fighting? How do we stop? I mean, you'll never have global peace, right? Everybody's going to want what they don't have, which is more land, more areas. But I don't know. You look at places like Egypt, right? Yeah, they've had their problems in the biblical past and even in the 80s and whatnot, but they're not out there starting wars. Look at England. They're not out there bombing fucking Germany or whatever. You don't shit where you eat. And that's the whole globe. Stop shitting on the globe. Stop shitting on people. Everybody's dying these days because of all the fighting and all the crap that's going on. And I don't understand it. Maybe that's just, I don't know. Maybe that's just I mean, I know it's the nature of, human nature or whatever. Always wanting more, always being greedy. You look at baboons in the woods, and if one's got 2 bananas, a monkey's not going to come along and take one and say, hey, this banana's for you and this one's for me. He's going to try to steal both of them from the guy. It's just what we do. But killing over it, killing a lot of people over it, like, a murder is one thing. Like 2 guys have an agreement, one guy kills another. Still not great, but that's one thing. But when you're killing hundreds of people, thousands of people in a war, I mean, think about this. This is something I thought about the other day. I was watching a World War II documentary, and it was actually pretty good, right? It was on the pilots and all the people that they killed when they were bombing. And I'm thinking to myself, how different would this world be if some of those people that were killed never had to go to war and they grew up and had great ideas and art and inventions that could come? I mean, you can't tell me that on the D-Day invasion at Normandy that there wasn't some kid who had an amazing art potential but was shipped off to war and could have been a life-changing artist or the next Paul McCartney or the next great leader. But no, we had to kill him because he was invading a beach on some other fucking country that he didn't give a shit about because his commander told him to. I mean, what are we missing as humanity when we kill mass amounts of people? We killed so many of the Jewish people in World War II. We could have had some amazing executive producers and comedians. I'm being stupid. I'm trying to lighten it up because I can get in my own head, and that's not good when it comes to this war and killing stuff. But you know what I'm saying? When you kill mass amounts of people like that, you're really missing out on the progression of the world because you don't know what these people could have offered. You don't. And I promise you, more people killed could have offered good than bad. Yeah, there's going to be one guy who could have turned out to be the next Hitler or whatever you want to say. But for the most part, you're killing good, hard workers who could have come up with new inventions, new ways of thinking, new sciences. Imagine where we could have been. Anyway, I'm not going to get off on that. I'm done talking with the politics and stuff. I do want to let you guys know that I am co-host of a new show. It's called PNS After Dark. If you know, PNS Studios is me and Jacob's little baby when it comes to podcasting, the world of podcasting. And we had the Fat and Spicy show, which was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed doing that. But the time for that show had come down to an end because it's like I'm sitting and having a conversation with you. And in my mind, when I'm talking, I see the camera here and I'm talking to one person. I'm having a conversation with a mute who can't talk back. So Fat and Spicy was a way that we could communicate, but we always did it. We tried to keep it PG-13. PNS After Dark is where we can really be who we want to be who we really are. I swore a little too much on the first one, the one we did last week, just because I was testing the boundaries. I think Jacob and I were both testing boundaries of being off the leash and saying whatever we want, But this week will be a little bit more tame. It'll be a little bit more mellowed out, so we'll be all right. Anyway, guys, Anson in the morning this week's not going to be that long. It's what do we do? 22 minutes here? That's good enough. I really appreciate you guys for at least just those who tune in, just tuning in and saying, hey, I'm here, support. So I've got to do the thing. Give the thumbs up if you liked what you saw, wherever you're watching this on. I really appreciate it. If you're not a member of what we're doing, click the subscribe button or the whatever it is, get announcements whenever we're up. And, I know I've been doing short shows recently, but I ain't got nothing to say. I'm just a schmuck. So, all right, guys. Until next time, this is Anson. It's morning. I love you.